my friends. Let's get started here. So we're going to start obviously with the religion stuff, obviously, right? And most of the questions are religion, all right? I think about 25 of them, give or take. All right, it's only about 15 from ethnicity. Know your vocabulary. I already mentioned that already. All right, you make sure you know those vocabulary terms. I'll try to give you some time in class today to ask me about any of them if you're not sure. All right. So let's jump right to you need to know the key and important facts about the geography of religion. So the most practiced religion around the world is Christianity. All right. Second largest is Islam. Okay, the fastest growing religion in the world. Major religion is Islam. All right. Not only in the Middle East, but also in Southeast Asia. All right, places like Indonesia. Okay. Major religions are the oldest. The oldest major religion is Hinduism. All right. We're not sure about the origin. We should expect sometime around 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. All right. But remember, we're not exactly sure because there's not an actual founder for Hinduism. The newest of the major religions is Islam. All right. Remember, the order, obviously, of the major religions is Hinduism, Buddhism, alrighty, Judaism, Christianity, and then Islam. Okay. Where are religions and branches distributed worldwide? Where are they strongest, folks? This one's kind of easy. Alrighty, all you're really going to do is you're going to look at the world map of religion, right? That everybody should have a full copy or a full color copy of. Plus, it's in the book as well. Now, hey, you don't need to memorize where all the religions of the world are. All right, but you should realize general patterns, general trends. So again, if I asked you, what's the dominant faith in South America? All right, you should kind of know. Oh, okay, well that's clearly Catholicism, right? What's the dominant faith in North Africa? Right, that's obviously Islam. All right, but you don't specifically need to know the Eastern religions. For instance, where in China you're going to find Taoism, where in China you're going to find Confucianism. All righty, you just need to know kind of general major trends. Think about the universalizing faiths. All right. Questions? Okay. How well do you know a worldwide map of religion? Yeah, again, once more. All righty, you're going to need to know that full color map. All righty, that we gave to you. That's why I gave it to you in the first place. Questions? All right, can you determine the three dominant regions, that should say religions, by the way, in a Europe map? All righty. So if I give you a map of European religions, can you, identify which of the branches would be strongest in that particular location? All right. So remember, there are three faiths in Europe, correct, or three branches. We have of Christianity. They're all Christianity, right? We have Orthodox Christians, right, in Southern and Eastern Europe, including Russia. All righty. We have Catholics, obviously, throughout many of the Southern European countries. Many of the countries that speak Romance languages also are the ones that practice Catholicism, and that should probably make sense to us, the Roman Catholic Church, Romance languages, right? So where one is spoken, oftentimes that religion is still practiced, okay? And then obviously in Northern Europe, and that includes Scandinavia and England, that's Protestantism, all right? So if I give you a religion map of Europe, alrighty, and I ask you, hey, which would be the dominant region, or religion, I should say, in region A, region B, or region C, you should be able to identify that in Europe. All right. Questions? All right. Now again, I'll keep it very general there. All right. So as long as you know the three general branches of Christianity, all righty, and the general locations in Europe where they're located, that should be no problems for you at all. Okay. Questions? No. The two dominant regions in North and South America map. All right, well, obviously, the two dominant religions, I should say religions again. I don't know why I'm all over region there. All right. The two dominant religions, obviously, in North and South America are, well, they're both branches of Christianity. All right, right. Obviously, Catholicism in Central and South America tends to dominate. And then Protestantism, obviously, in North America is the dominant religion. All right. Questions? Remember, there are parts of North America that are going to still have Catholicism, right? But overall, if we look at the overall continent, more people practice Protestantism than any other. Okay? For instance, you're going to see Catholics in Eastern Canada and Northeastern United States. All right, and obviously you would see a lot of Catholics in the Southwestern United States as well. Okay? The multiple religions potentially displayed on an Asian map. Well, the first religion we obviously need to mention is Buddhism, right? That's a major universalizing faith. All right, and Buddhism obviously is widely distributed across Asia, including most of China and Southeast Asia. Okay? You need to recognize some of these other Eastern faiths as well. All right? You need to recognize in Japan, right? They kind of have their own version of Buddhism, right? Or I should say, their own religion that mixed with Buddhism. That's Shintoism, right? That's kind of the religion of the samurai. It's all about honor, respecting one's family, one's links to the past. Alrighty. Also, obviously, in an Asian map, you should be able to identify where Hinduism is located. That's pretty easy for us, right? That pretty much corresponds to the borders of India. Alrighty, because remember, Hinduism, well, it exists outside of India, not much, right? That's why we consider it to be such an ethnic. Alright, so now again, remember, Buddhism's syncretic, right? Like Christianity, it's syncretic, so it blends together a lot of times with other religions. So when we say that Asia, especially China and Southeast Asia, is Buddhist, you need to recognize most people there identify with multiple religions. All right, they'll tell you, I'm a Buddhist and I'm a Taoist. All right, I'm a Buddhist. I'm a Buddhist and I'm Confucian. All righty. As long as you can recognize, hey, Buddhism's the dominant universalizing religion there, and it'll blend with other Eastern religions like Taoism, Taoism, Confucianism, Shintoism, alrighty, then you'll be just fine. Okay, the maps are going to be pretty straightforward, pretty clear this time around. Alright, we're looking for general trends, general patterns, and always, always, always focus on the universalizing faiths first and foremost. Okay? Questions so far? Alrighty. You needed to be able to differentiate a Catholic church from an Islamic mosque from a Buddhist temple or pagoda. Alright, well. Catholic churches, remember, are generally large. Alright, they were generally central gathering places. They usually dominate the skyline. Alrighty, usually large towers, I guess you could say, cathedrals. Alrighty. Obviously, the cross is going to be prominently displayed, right? Of course, Jesus was crucified prior to his death, right? And so the cross itself is viewed as a particularly sacred, right, sign of all Christianity, right? So you're going to see that prominently displayed on Catholic churches as well. You should remember Protestant churches as well are usually smaller. They're more simplistic, alrighty. They're not as magnificent in terms of their looks. They're not as aesthetically pleasing because, of course, Protestantism was designed to be a more simplistic faith, alrighty, with less rules, less requirements, made it a little bit easier for people to practice. Questions? Islamic mosque, you're going to see a lot of domes. All right, remember you're going to see those towers that surround the domes. Those are called minarets, right? A lot of times minarets are going to have smoke coming from the top of them. All righty. Remember, you're not going to see any images in Islam. All righty, inside mosques. They are going to be more designs, more shapes, because remember, you're not allowed to have any images whatsoever. That's considered to be an insult to Muhammad, to the faith itself. All right. A lot of open air areas, open courtyards in mosques as well, because let's remember, Muslims are expected to pray 5 times a day, and so oftentimes the mosque will have large open air places to accommodate many, many people. Okay. Questions? Buddhist temple or pagoda, remember they are not about communal worship. Alrighty, so therefore they are usually tall and narrow, thin. You can't fit a lot of people inside of them. All right. Usually they reached up to the sky kind of as landmarks for people to be able to see them from far away. A lot of times, remember, individuals will come to Buddhist temples or pagodas, or small groups of people will, alrighty, so that they can pray on an individual basis. Alrighty, remember, most of Buddhist temples usually house a body part, alrighty, of Buddha himself, and so therefore, again, they're viewed as like almost as like a resting place of their founder. Alrighty, but again, usually tall, usually dominating. Remember, pagodas are the ones in Japan for the most part that have the curved roofs. Alrighty, like that. Alrighty, and there's usually multiple layers of it. It's like a home with multiple roofs, almost, or a tower with multiple roofs. They latch down already in a curved pattern, again, you should be able to recognize those. Those are Eastern and Asian houses of worship. Alrighty. Other questions? Alrighty, very good. Know the 4 major religions of the world? Curious why I put the 4 major religions. I'm assuming Hinduism falls into that category as well. Alrighty. Know the 4 major religions of the world, including where each originated and where and why it originally diffused outwards. Alrighty, its founder and its story behind its founding. Alright, well, let us begin with Hinduism. Alrighty. Hinduism obviously is the oldest faith, alright, that we know of. Well, other than animism. Animism predates Hinduism, but anyways, Hinduism originated in India, alrighty, as you know, around what we call the Indus Valley, alrighty, which runs right in the middle through India today. It's actually a series of religions, alrighty, that we kind of blend together and call them all just the Hindu faith. It obviously has remained for the most part in India, alrighty, it has not diffused outward.